President-elect Joe Biden is weeks away from taking office, but his presidency already has a growing conspiracy following it. It is called the Great Reset. The theory accuses Mr. Biden of playing a part in a global economic plan that will ultimately lead to a dystopian society. The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan, "Build Back Better," a front for the conspiracy.
This isn't some Sky After Dark fantasy conspiracy theory. It is a global commitment they have made to use the panic and fear generated by the coronavirus as a means to reshape all our economies and laws and move to a new form of capitalism that focuses on net zero emissions, to use all the tools of COVID to tackle climate change.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
To talk more about the so-called Great Reset, we have CBSN technology reporter Dan Patterson. Hi, Dan. Boy, the conspiracy theories are coming fast and furious these days. I can't keep up. So can you explain how the Great Reset conspiracy started and where this phrase actually came from?
Yeah, so this is kind of a mishmash of a number of different conspiracy theories, Tanya, and they all kind of borrow from each other, and some of them have been floating around since the very early days of the pandemic. So the conspiracy alleges an end to global capitalism and a post-apocalyptic future where those who resist the COVID vaccine will be imprisoned. It borrows or takes from Biden's Build Back Better campaign and then kind of amalgamates it with a conspiracy theory about Bill Gates and his plans to vaccinate and track everyone with a secret tracker, along with part of a New World Order conspiracy run by the World Economic Forum, who actually have COVID response white papers, policy papers written called the Great Reset. Now, this had nothing to do with the conspiracy, but they kind of took all of those components and mashed it together into this uber conspiracy. The ironic part is, if you've never heard of the World Economic Forum, it's a small think tank organization that publishes white papers and policy papers, and they throw events and conferences. One of their events in Davos every year features speakers who are often world leaders or corporate leaders.
What exactly is Mr. Biden's alleged role in this, and how did entangling him in it come about?
So this plot takes the Biden slogan and then alleges that the president-elect will use former Obama staffers to reset capitalism, and that Biden is actually in control of this plot or this scheme to take over capitalism and replace it with socialism. Again, they use his policy papers and his Build Back Better policies to come up with this idea that Biden is somehow taking over the world.
You know, but why is it that people are so willing to believe in these global conspiracies? Why are they so suspicious of institutions? What is that saying about the society on a larger level that people are so fearful and suspicious of their own government?
Well, Tanya, it's hard for me to say why each individual feels the way they do. But look,
now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
That we do not fall back to old recipes, but that we really look at forward-oriented solutions.
You know, I don't know why people believe what they believe, but I do know that social media does a very good job of kind of siloing us into particular groups. And when we are in these groups, confirmation bias can take over, and that feeds those fissures, those cracks. So these are loopholes, exploits, and they're often used by those who have political motives.
Right. It's interesting to me, though, and I guess it takes a deeper dive, why there is such fertile ground for this misinformation. You know, you and I could discuss this ad nauseum, as I'm sure we will, Dan, but it seems to me that it points to some larger deficiencies that, you know, we have to try and figure out. But in any case,
We have an incredible opportunity to create entirely new sustainable industries, investing in nature as the true engine of our economy.
The current global crisis has disrupted every aspect of our lives, but it has also presented us with an extraordinary opportunity, a chance to reset and accelerate efforts to improve the state of our world.
Changing our current trajectory will require bold and imaginative action, together with determination and decisive leadership. In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model, putting people and planet at the heart of global value creation. If there is one critical lesson we have to learn from this crisis, we need to put nature at the heart of how we operate. We are on the verge of catalytic breakthroughs that will alter our view of what is possible and profitable within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the time to act is now.
Doubt Biden has promised to dismantle much of Trump's extraordinarily successful legacy. And with a return to the bad old Obama days of cuddling up to Iran, resourcing and emboldening Iran would make war more likely, says Adler. And of course, Kamala Harris, whose chief of staff, Karine Jean-Pierre, has been described as a radical Israel hater. She has already pledged to start refunding Palestinian organizations that Trump defunded because of their links to terrorism, and which will now, in David Adler's words, simply fuel more violence.
Great Reset conspiracy started, and where this phrase actually came from?